You're listening to For Better and Worse with Jess and Rach.
Good to go. Hop on here, Rach. Yeah, you're wearing shoes.
I'm wearing shoes. Kick them off. I feel like I can't wear bell bottoms without the boots. One, if you didn't know, the fatter you are, you better be tall. Because these, I could step on them.
They're making them long, which I appreciate.
You would appreciate it, Jess.
Growing up was never the case.
I remember when, we didn't call them bell bottoms. They were just the jeans that we were given in the mid 2000s.
The only option.
The only options. But just remember, like, rainy after a day walking home from school in your Converse, and the back of your pants would be soaked, absolutely soaked.
Tattered
Too.
Tattered and worn and muddy. Right. Remember, we used to wear them with like clogs. They used to be like old Birkenstocks, but they were clogs.
Unlocking a memory. Never bought them, but I think I got the Target version.
And then low-rise jeans. Curse low-rise jeans. May they never return.
And you know what? Also, low-rise underwear. I don't wear low-rise underwear anymore.
Me neither. I don't either. I wear straight up GPs.
Yes.
GPs.
Yes.
The higher, the better. You want to be tucking that fupa in without wearing Spanx. Am I right? Am I right? Target.
It's like I will either not wear underwear or wear granny panties.
I'm loving them. And they make them a little cheeky too. So you can feel like I'm not full on.
No, my ass
old
eats
grandma.
Those up. It's like either I have to wear a thong or I have to wear full coverage undies.
I have worn a thong since.
The wedgies are unreal.
I only wear them when I get spray tans.
Which speaking of.
I am sprayed.
She's
today.
currently developing.
I'm currently developing, so I will get darker throughout the episode. I know you're listening, but if you are watching, just rate how dark I get from beginning to end.
I was just going through our DMs because I wanted to respond to one in our episode today, and I saw that someone had commented on August 8th about when the breakup playlist episode will be aired. Still not up, so sorry about it.
Oh, on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube community.
Guys.
Hanging on by a thread.
You're hanging on. All 400 of you are really, I hope you're super fans, honestly. And it's such a time-consuming activity that I wish I had more time for. And,
we love you. Thanks for sticking around. We'll get around to it.
Yeah, we'll get there. The suspense.
If you want to work for free as our assistant, send in your apps. Send in your applications.
Send in your apps. We also don't make any money from this yet, so
I said free.
Oh, Jess. I don't think we've talked about this on the pod. It happened like 2 weeks ago, but it was a too soon situation. Too soon. I couldn't talk about it last time we recorded.
Okay.
But I very undramatically crashed Josh's car and ripped the bumper off. Not clean off.
You and Madison were talking about this.
Yeah. But I was like,
in passing.
Save it for the pod. I couldn't comment on it.
What the heck happened?
Well, you see, it was like 1 a.m. It was after our IKEA trip when we were getting all the stuff for her new apartment.
Which I'm pretty sure at this point you guys, okay, so backstory is that we have a friend named Madison who was introduced on the pod.
Yeah.
But you helped her move.
Yeah, helped her
move. Went to IKEA and literally relentlessly.
That night, started building.
Built the entire furnished apartment and were sweaty Bettys.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking like you guys really bared down.
We bared down and we called in the big guns or the would-be big guns, Joshua Gibson Pridemore, to help us. But he had just fallen down the stairs. He was in
bad shape at the birthday party this weekend. He kept holding his back and I was like, I forgot you fucking fell.
Oh my God. He's feeling better as of yesterday, but it was fresh, within 48 hours of that fall.
Okay.
But he's sitting, he got one of the random chairs in the house, was sitting on it, was delegating, but he ends up having to leave around 10:30 because he had to work in the morning. Understandable. Madison and I were building this bunk bed. We were doing it.
But you guys don't have that boundary setting where it's time for bed. We got to call quits tonight. You guys literally didn't stop until everything was finished.
You don't have to build anything from IKEA. You'll forget where you were. You enter a trance, and once you leave that trance, you can't. You have to retrace your steps. Absolutely not. We got most of like the hard stuff done, and then Madison and I finished it off. We did it. Josh leaves. But we decide I am parked behind Josh. And instead of us switching our cars and doing that whole situation, I'm like, just like,
take my car home.
You take my car home. I'll take your car home. Well, unfortunado, Madison and I are backing up out of her driveway at 1 a.m. And her driveway backs up kind of onto a main road, but there's like a sidewalk. And there is a very slight hump that I go over.
A hump.
A little hump, little grass hump.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I'm off. So I put it in forward to like correct. Put it in drive.
In forward.
Yes. And we're going slow. I'm just pulling out of a driveway. Josh's car is one of those cars, though, that like you have to use the backup camera. And I'm just not well versed in the digital realm. I still use my mirrors. But
old school.
We're trying not to give too many excuses. I put it in forward and drive.
In the direction I wanted to go.
I put it in the go row.
Oh,
and we hear a terrible sound. This kind of sound that you immediately are like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. So I put it in stop and I get out of the car. The bumper is on the floor of the ground of the earth.
Did you like bottom out?
Yes. But like his little sport mode car gave me about 11 inches and it just like it caught it.
Yeah.
And like all the clips snapped.
A clean off bumper.
Yeah, but not clean off. One half was like the one side was still on.
Good grief.
I about had a panic attack. Madison's like, we both get out of the car and we're just like, how did this, was it that? The grass? We couldn't handle the grass, Mazda? And now I have to call Josh to come. Homeboy takes a non-suggested amount of melatonin.
He's pretty average in the melatonin dosage.
No, I mean, he'd be popping them.
Did you hear how many I took? 60 to 70 milligrams. They're 10 milligrams a pop, and I'd be hungry before I go to bed, and they taste yummy.
No.
Oh, yeah.
But you've since stopped.
Yeah.
60 milligrams of melatonin?
Joe and I be dabbling in the Z-Quil sometimes just to feel something.
Just to feel nothing. Gone bad.
But for real, though. Okay, so did he wake up?
Oh, yeah. I finally woke up to obviously, like, there are certain things with the 6 that you have to know. There are these certain things, I don't know what Joe's things are, that, like, if it goes wrong, it's like the end of the world, okay? If Josh,
you don't know how Joe is in that situation. You were there,
but Josh's things are like car, wallet, newfound are the iPod or not the iPod, AirPods.
These are all expensive things. Yes. Money, the wallet,
car situation. He loses his goddamn mind, and so I knew, I was like, he's never gonna forgive me for this.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this. And absolutely, we got it together in the end.
Good.
I won't go into it anymore, but insurance is like a scam. Basically, a scammer came to our house, appraised the damage, and was like, had $400 of paint work. But there's nothing wrong with the paint.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you probably want to repaint the clips. And Josh was like, they're going to be new clips, dude. The clips are broken. What are you talking about?
A fucking scamboozle.
Scamboozle. We go to a body shop. They appraise it at like $250.
That's where you need to be going.
And it's like, the insurance just wanted him to pay his $500 deductible.
That's it.
I got no words. I have nothing good to say about the insurance community.
Me either.
But regardless, that happened. We've recovered. It was a grand stress in my life for a minute there. But we here now.
Insurance is there for a reason, though. Shit will happen.
Yeah. Well, insurance ain't covering this.
Also, a good $250. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I'd say you guys came out on top.
Right. It wasn't. I was like, when Josh said it was $1,000 worth of damage, I was like, I didn't get in a head-on goddamn collision.
Yeah.
We're talking about a small hump on the side of the road.
You keep calling it a hump. I love that you're calling it a hump.
I can't call it a hill. I'm talking. I'll send.
Is there
pics.
like a divot? We'll have to.
No.
I need to.
I'll send pics. Send pics.
Send nudes.
But Jess, we also fun in the sun we had on Saturday.
Did.
And we posted about it.
We
were live streaming, basically.
The feedback of the FB and Dub commune. Everyone was loving that shit.
They were living.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I love this." I was
Jess,
like,
"Can you please, for all of our fans inquiring, where's your outfit from?"
Zara. You can sponsor me if you hear this. No, my outfit was by Zara.
Zara and I got beef.
Yeah.
We took a photo the other day.
Well, I'm just going to preface this. The pants were not your size. So
I'm like a 14.
So the wear size.
These were 12s. So I should, in theory, be able to like get them over my ass.
No, Zara's, I'm just saying like sizes. I said sizes do not matter in Zara. If you know, you know. Like you're just all across the board.
Across the board.
You really are. Like you could
I literally
be a
almost had a
medium
panic attack in these pants because they were squeezing my hips too tight. My ass was flat.
You looked good.
They were trying to teach me how to twerk at this party. Couldn't do it. So my ass
so
and my brain are not connected.
There was so much going on at this party.
There was.
And the main event was me being sweaty as fuck.
It was hot.
Is a cooker. I mean, that's what you get for an August 30th birthday, though.
I know.
It was a good time, though. We partied, we laughed, we danced. We sweat.
We sweat.
Wet.
Gotta comb like a turbo vet. Girl.
Hey.
Do you have any?
Okay.
You had some things you wanted to bring to the pod.
I have a new tidbit for this episode. Maybe we'll continue it. Maybe we won't. But I have a current events coming at you. And I got word of this.
Keep me current.
I will keep you woke.
Thank you, Jess.
Yes. So listen to this, Rach. This blew my mind. And I'm like, I cannot wait to watch a documentary about this in about a year.
Okay.
When Netflix takes it over. So what happened was ESPN got catfished by a fake football team in Ohio. Have you heard this?
Okay. Josh mentioned this, but I had like 100 questions and he had 0 answers.
Okay.
For me, so I'm looking forward to this.
This is all we know. Okay. This is as current as it gets because it is breaking fucking news. Okay. But what's so funny is that it got so far as to getting to ESPN, and that's why this is like bada bing, bada boom, bamboozled, you know? Okay, so they call themselves Bishop Sycamore, okay? And they're a completely made up football team and school. So they went by this name. It's not a real credited school, and it's not a real team at all. So like nobody did any backup information or any type of research on them. They just like took it for what they said that they were.
Got on some sort of schedule.
So yeah, they did with no questions asked. So like Ohio Division of Football or whatever that association is, like didn't look into it. They were just like, take it.
Like, where's your school?
No,
at?
I guess they made a website that looked quote unquote legit enough.
Right.
Okay,
which
so
I could probably do in like 20 minutes.
Right. So it's like it made it look like a school, looked like a private online school.
Okay.
And that's what was happening. So what happened, how ESPN got involved is that they were airing an IMG Academy versus Bishop Sycamore. Okay, I guess I don't know if I'm saying that right. IMG. That's just what I see. Okay.
Yeah, say it with confidence and I'll believe you.
Okay. And I guess they're like have like D1 recruits. And so ESPN's like, this would be a sick game for football. Like, we got ourselves a good match. Bishop Sycamore said that they had a lot of D1 recruits, but when announcers, they couldn't confirm any of the players on Bishop Sycamore on their roster, like being committed anywhere. And they're like, okay, this is a fucking red flag. And they're also like, give me your roster. And they just like wouldn't. And then when they were like trying to mash up names to like where these people were being recruited to, like what colleges, just like they were for the other school. And they're like, we can't confirm any of this. Like, we are not finding their names being recruits. So they're like, okay, this is all fucked up. And then like, I guess the announcers were like, this team is just like killing IMG Academy. Like, what is going on? They look big.
They look big.
Not only are they big, but basically the players on the team are a bunch of junior college dropouts, and they're in their early 20s. I mean, fraudulent from start to finish. I'm like, is this the new Fyre Fest? Were
they trying to be serious, or were they really just trying to pull prank?
No, this is no prank. This is just like, let's make a team, kick these high schoolers' ass, I guess. But here's what to say about the head coach. I guess the head coach has an arrest warrant out for domestic violence. I guess there's like felons on the team. I guess these aren't good people. I got word of, not from this article, but from Joe. He was saying that like they were all piling in a motel, and that's where they were staying all together. And then I guess he just like dipped out on the hotel, and he's like, no, I paid you. And he's like, those checks all bounce. Like, you owe me this much money. And I guess this isn't the first time that this head coach is like dipped out. He's like, that hasn't paid a loan. I guess that's another issue that he has. He just like is just.
Did Joe get on his like prosecutor bullshit and was like,
not
Googling?
Really. Not really, because it's still so new. I'm sure he will. But I'm like, this is like piping hot. Like, there's going to be a documentary on how they've gotten away with this. Like, how it got to ESPN. How many
games did they play?
I'm not sure. Enough.
Really?
Enough for them to get on fucking ESPN. But like, nobody was doing research.
They were just accepting they were getting their ass handed to them by like super giants.
I don't know like who didn't ask questions, or when did someone, why did it take ESPN or like that to.
I mean, I wonder how much like Bishop Sycamore merch that's been made.
Bishop Sycamore BS. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit all over Bishop Sycamore. Flag on the play.
Oh my!
I don't know much about football, but
you caught it. You caught the initials. BSers.
Yes, isn't that funny though?
That is funny.
I just think like we're gonna see a documentary on that and how they got away with it for so long.
But I want to know how long.
Me too. Maybe I'll do some research, some further sleuthing.
Yeah, amateur sleuths.
Amateur sleuths
coming at you live.
Oh my God. I thought that was piping hot.
It is piping hot. I have so many more questions on it. I want to know more.
Yeah, it's like Fyre Festival to me.
I know. I never even watched any of that stuff.
Oh, it'll change your life. I watched the Netflix version and the Hulu version, and both are freaking good. If you guys want a good scamboozle, that is the scam of all time.
Do you remember you were a photographer when there was like the equivalent Fyre Festival that took place in Oregon, like photographers workshop? Were you around to hear about that at all? It was like our Fyre Festival. It was like they basically like this organization, like this wedding organization in Oregon, tried to create a workshop, but like between the educators, the attendees, nothing was organized. There like wasn't food for people to eat. There wasn't like enough stuff, and it was piping hot tea at the time. But yeah, a lot of like huge like big names came, but then they like left because they were like, we don't have anywhere to stay.
Oh my
God, this is not safe for people. Like, we don't know what's going on. It was weird.
Holy shit.
I know.
That stuff just like really blows my mind.
People get in over their heads so quick.
But like, call it before you affect someone else's livelihood.
Right.
Livelihood.
It ain't good. Jess, how have you been? How have you been emotionally? How are you handling you're ramping up. You ramped down. Now you're ramping back.
Yeah. So I will say that it is nice to get married and have your birthday within a week of each other. So it's like
you would recommend?
Yeah, I would. It was fun. I mean, it's been fun. Joe and I's anniversary is this weekend, and we're going to get away. So it's just kind of nice to like celebrate my birthday and get away for that, and then get away for our anniversary. So it's kind of like a nice 2-week break in the busy season. So I've been really enjoying that, truthfully, until Rach, right before we hit record, was like, let me see your schedule. What's everything looking like? And I was like, shaking, like panicking, like I haven't looked at this for a fucking reason. But no, we'll see. I'm gonna take it day by day.
You just got double headies.
Man. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal, but I end early. So it's like bear down, take it up the ass for like 2 months straight to be done. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really.
My last wedding is like the last weekend in November.
Yeah, that was me last year. So
We be out here.
we'll be
But then
working.
it's so strange. Like some years I've had like 2 to 3 weddings in December.
Just randos.
Ain't nobody in it.
Winter people out here.
Maybe it's a COVID thing. Maybe people are like, we ain't planning on getting married inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's more of that. I don't know.
Also, in more current events that just hit me,
Yeah.
Drake's album drops on Friday.
No, you better be excited.
I have a 5-hour drive to Lexington, Kentucky.
full car listen.
I can't wait.
Are we going to do an episode on Drake's album?
We 100% will. So that I just decided right now.
Okay.
Without even confirming with you, but I would love it.
Okay.
I really think that I need to like fuck my life up a little bit. Maybe play around with divorce just so I can really feel this album.
Yeah. Play around with divorce.
I'm kidding. Do I need to threaten a divorce? Just to really feel this album.
Did Drake get divorced?
No, but I mean, like, I need to be going through something.
This is my confusion about Drake and other artists like Drake. Do we know anything about his life? No. We've seen his baby mama, kind of, but she's not in the media. Like, what's your deal, Drake? I don't know.
But
You're
that's
private.
what we love.
So we
because
just speculate. The episode will just be speculations.
But that's what's so dope is because when he comes out with these albums and he's just writing his fucking diaries, he's rapping his diary for you, what he's been going through for like the past couple of years. And I am soaking it up like a sponge. It's
right.
good.
I'll
It's
be
going to be
here.
good. I'm excited. We'll keep everyone updated.
We love to hear it. Okay, so today's episode, I don't know where my phone is, so we're going to have to press pause.
Oh, we have the
right here.
DM.
Yeah.
All right, getting into the meat.
The meat this episode was inspired by a DM from someone.
Who's down in the DM.
Getting down with the DMs. Sent this kind of a while ago, so sorry we're just getting to it, but I felt like it deserved its own episode. Revolving around bridal parties, the do's and don'ts, tips and tricks when picking your bridal party, when dealing with people.
Bridal Party 101, if you will.
Yes, Bridal Party 101. Okay. So I'm reading this DM now. Okay. So basically, I got engaged August 2020 and was getting married, and we are getting married October 2021. I asked my sister-in-law to be my maid of honor, mostly because we've gotten pretty close during quarantine earlier in the year. Well, she got engaged about a month before I did, and we are both planning our weddings at the same time. She originally asked me to just be a bridesmaid of her party before I got engaged. Her original maid of honor got the boot because they decided not to be friends anymore, and she put me in her place. I helped her do everything for her wedding, but she is not reciprocating for mine. She's not doing her maid of honor duties by being my hype man. She's not making any event feel special for me. She doesn't text me back and doesn't even hang out with me anymore. I might add, I would give her the boot too, but I only have her and one other girl in my bridal party because we keep this circle small. LOL. I've tried to ask her if anything is wrong, but she said everything is all good. But I feel like if she's not going to be my hype man and she's not going to make me feel excited or special about anything coming up, like the bridal shower or bachelorette party, why are you even in the maid of honor spot? Last thing I'm going to add is I don't want to cause any family drama by kicking her out of my wedding party or getting real because I also work with her too.
A toughie.
A toughie.
A toughie because we're mixing family in here.
Yeah, you're mixing fam up in here, which is a bit of a risk. Also, this is like sister-in-law, so it's like you guys are still getting to know each other.
Wait, I thought in-law.
Sister-in-law.
Oh, I thought it was her real blood sister. Okay.
No. Sister-in-law.
Got it. Oof. Here's what I have to say to this, and this is actually number one on my tips and tricks for picking a bridal party is setting honest expectations.
Yeah.
And with that, specific expectations like, hey, I feel like she's checking in with her and she's like, hey, are we good? Is everything good? And she's saying, yeah, but you're not saying like, hey, I really kind of felt bummed out. I kind of felt let down that, you weren't really as excited or trying to like hype me up, because clearly I feel like that's what she's missing.
Right.
If she keeps saying hype man and she wants that, it's like, hey, I'd love for you to be a little more present. It's like setting those honest expectations and boundaries with them. It's like, these are the specific things I need you to do as my
Right.
maid of honor. just like, I don't know, it should be easy for her because she wants that reciprocated
I know.
for her own wedding.
And my thing is, like, she kind of pigeoned herself in this by saying, like, I don't want to cause any, like, not only do you not want to, like, have her not be your maid of honor, you don't even want to, like, push the envelope. To which,
also,
if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to create conflict in your mind, which, I mean, I would argue that you vocalizing your opinion shouldn't be conflict, but if you feel like that's what it would do, I would say just, like, drop your expectations then.
mm-hmm.
Just don't have any. Like, you can't, if she isn't doing what your expectations are of her and you don't want to hold her to those expectations, then you kind of just have to drop them.
Yeah. Or in opposition of that, tell her your expectations.
Yeah.
Either lower them because you don't want to bring them up,
Mm-hmm.
or voice them to her.
Right.
Be like, hey, or like put them as tasks that would help you, like delegate a task. Like, hey, I would love for you to do this, and this would be hella helpful.
Yeah.
HH.
Right. And I feel like for
specific
her,
tasks.
the part that's like hurtful to her is, like, there's no excitement behind doing the tasks, which, like, you can't force someone to be someone they're not. And unfortunately, you can't hold someone to do things the way you would do them.
Right.
Like, that's not how people work, unfortunately. Like, so yeah, what I would do in this situation is I would say, like, hey, I want to be more excited about the wedding. I feel like you aren't excited, or, like, what's going on, that, like, how can we make this, like, a more fun process for both of us? Or just be like, fuck it, I'm doing everything myself.
But also, I feel like a little detail in that is kind of telling is that, so the sister-in-law is planning our wedding and she gave her maid of honor the boot.
Yeah.
Who just gives the most important person in your life, pretty much,
Right.
the boot? Like, how do you guys just fall out?
Right. How do you go from, but something that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen more than once, is people will use the maid of honor spot as, like, the last ditch effort spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the childhood best friend or the whatever. And it's like, we could be breaking up, or this is, like, my last pull for us to be closer than ever. And sometimes that might work out. I mean, I don't know. But, like, in those situations, it's like sometimes the conflict comes to a head before the wedding. And I mean, I'm on team, like, don't have someone in your wedding that you're not getting along with, because you're not going to get along with them on your wedding day. They'll be on all of your pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of my tips.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Don't use it as your last ditch effort. Like, if you don't hang out with them, you don't see them, you aren't close, you aren't having real conversations, don't
Why
give
do you
them,
want them?
like, a very important role.
Right.
Like, if you can't count on them, that you won't be able to count on them if that you give them a bigger responsibility.
Right.
So hopefully that was helpful. Welcome to our semi-solicited advice.
Welcome.
Okay, so getting into all of this stuff, I wanted to read out my thoughts on, like, the classic bridesmaid groomsmen lineup.
Give it to me.
And again, preface this to say this is for straight people weddings. Okay. Most of the time. I'm sure you can apply them, but this is a stereotypical. Okay.
Very stereotypical.
We've got the matron, the older sister, the pregnant one, the one that is not interested in any of the bullshit. And she's there, and she will get her hair done, and she will be pregnant, and she will leave at 8 p.m. once dinner's over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then we've got the maid of honor, that childhood, the best friend that's holding on for dear life out here. She can't relate to where you're at in life anymore. You've went to college differently, but you're best friends. And you couldn't choose between the 3 sorority sisters.
Oh my God.
One of which you don't really like at all. And she probably slept with your husband before you married him.
Oh my God.
And then finally, to finish us off, we've got the groom sister as an obligation.
Obligatory.
You got any comments?
That is funny. Perfect. Couldn't have said it any better.
There we are. In the classic groomsmen lineup, I've yet to see this be any different.
Oh, God.
We've got the brothers and the childhood best friends.
I mean, it's standard. With the men.
With the men, it's always the same. Because
you got a few Dudley Dursleys in there.
Oh, yeah. People you shouldn't be friends with anymore.
A hodgepodge of men, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a mess. It's a crapshoot, too.
Yep.
Like, you do have the brothers. You got one solid guy in there, right?
Yep.
And he's not always the best man.
And that's always the bummer.
I know.
You always make the brother the best man, and he's too drunk and hasn't seen you in a couple years. But
or like socially awkward and hates to talk.
Yes.
And you have one well-spoken dude. He's the point person all day, helping out the photographer, helping out the vendors. But we love to see him in the crew, truly.
Yeah, we love to see him in the crew. But also, here's the thing. If you can have more than one person give a speech, best be sure when I get married, it'll be an open call for speeches. We'll just pass it around the table. Everybody say something nice about me. Because if you can't say something nice about me, you ain't common.
Open mic night.
Open mic night.
For Rach's wedding. Come and get it.
Come and get it. Say something nice about me, please.
And pass the mic.
Yeah.
That's genius. A free for all.
Yeah. So those are the classics, the ones that I tip. I'm walking into a day and like, this is what I'm walking into.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
big
solid.
Group, 8 to 10 people, just like, guys.
Here's a tip of the dick on big wedding parties. Okay. This is what I feel like is acceptable. Also, none of this is just my opinion. Again, we'd say this and we have to preface, as always, with wedding stuff because we don't want you to get butthurt. Okay? We don't.
Some people do.
And we're sorry for it, but you're listening to this podcast for a reason. So, but I think the tip of the dick, the bigger the wedding, the bigger the party.
Right.
The bigger the wedding party. Like that's allowed. And obviously like the smaller wedding, a smaller party. I feel like that's
that's typical, yeah.
But that's typical. But one of my like talking points, I guess, is like how much is too much. And with this, what did I write here? For someone who had a really big wedding party, I feel like this is okay, right? For me, it's like fear of letting people down. I love a lot of people. I love let people stand by my side. That's just who I am. So the big bridal party was fine, but lessen your expectations of photos, of their duties or responsibilities. Like some of my like bridesmaids were just like told to show up on the day and here's your dress. And then here are the big dates for the bachelorette party and that's it. You know what I mean? Maybe day of things,
right?
Which is like standard bridesmaids duties.
Yeah,
that's fine. Like, hey, go grab that, or hey, go do this. But also, like with big wedding parties from a photographer, it's like I'm cool with that, but you cannot expect me to get like 30 people.
Yeah, looking.
No, that was like Rach, like 2 group shots, we're fine, we're good to go.
Right.
Like I really don't care about the big bridal party. I want them to be a part of it.
Right.
But I don't need these like 20 photos of them.
Yeah.
Like lessen your expectations if you're going to have this giant party.
Right.
That's my take on how much is too much.
And it was commonplace for you. Like you didn't expect every single person to come to all of the things.
No.
I think it's hard because people choose big bridal parties, I would say 9 times out of 10 to avoid conflict, right? They don't want to exclude certain people that are in the friend group. This happens so much with people who were in a sorority in college. Those are like the girls I think of the most that were in a sorority in college. You know, there's 8 girls in there and you don't want to pick and choose from them. And you can't not pick 2 of them because you're really close with them. So you just bundle them all in. But this is the thing. My stance on that is like, you're allowed to create conflict on your wedding, right? You're allowed to be like, I don't want 15 people in my bridal party. I've got 3 sisters. He's got 2 sisters. And I just like, I really can only like juggle. Cause like really, those are the people you're getting ready with. You're with them all day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be juggling a shit ton of people's own emotions and bullshit. You got to pick and choose that.
Yeah.
But also, if you're not the kind of person that cares, then fuck it. Have them all.
Have them all.
Have them all.
Which is what I did.
That's what you did.
I don't regret that.
No, I think you would do it again.
Same. I feel like the squad lineup was solid.
Yeah.
Lineup was solid. Could have added more, really.
No. No.
No, I have one that kind of piggybacks that, and it's don't feel the obligation to ask someone to be in your wedding because you were in theirs.
Yeah.
That goes with like pick and choose, like who you want, and like don't feel or that obligation. Like,
Yeah.
I think girls have to stop that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just depends on like what you want for your date. But it's like if that person fits, like
Right.
they were a no-brainer from the jump, then this doesn't apply to you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But like I think if you are on the fence about that, like, oh, she put me in hers, but like I'm only wanting round 5 and she could be
Right.
the 6. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have, if you want to explain that to her, cool. But it's like
Yeah.
you also don't owe her that explanation.
And along those lines, another tip is don't pick more people because your spouse has 8 and you can only come up with 5.
You do not
But you want the
need-
even number.
You do not need the same number of
No.
bridesmaids and groomsmen.
You don't. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know who believed that. I know when I got married, I did. I was like,
But it's uneven. How often do you hear that? Who cares?
Who cares?
Also, with that, that's going to look weird.
Right.
Nobody cares. Like, nobody's looking at bridesmaids, groomsmen. I'm sorry. You guys have an important role in the day, but it's not that. It's,
Yep.
you guys literally are there to like help out and like be a part of the party, which is like an honor for sure. But it's the bride and the groom.
Right.
And another tip of the day, plenty of tips here.
Plenty of
They
tips.
don't have to sit with you. Have a sweetheart table. They don't have to make
Yeah.
at this bridal party table. If you love the look of that and you want to make those people feel important, go for it. But like
Yeah.
if
They probably
That's-
want to sit next to their date.
right.
They probably want to, like, it's not super important.
No, it's not.
No.
That was another.
But
comment.
I do think bridal parties feel like this, like, life or death situation a lot of the times. Like, they feel so, like, there's so much stress because, like, you're balancing other people's emotions and expectations. Which can be really awkward. Another tip of the dick for you, don't assume you're going to be in anybody's bridal party.
Oof.
Don't assume that.
I didn't even think that.
You know, some
yeah.
people like would assume.
No,
but,
don't
like-
assume. Just wait till you're asked and then be honored. One. You can have more than one maid of honor or best man.
Yes, I believe that.
My tip of the dick on this is keep your speeches shorter.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just like, hey, keep in mind we got 4 speeches if there are 2 of each, or 3 and then dad, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? Just 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Solid. That's it.
Yep.
Or combine if you want to do a combined speech with the maid of honors. But I feel like it's your rules. It's your day.
Yeah.
Pick them.
Just like a top tip, if you're going to say, like, if you give any guidelines to the speeches, what people really get carried away with
Is the
Is-
backstories.
we don't need it.
We need one.
You can give one funny story. Don't give like freshman year, sophomore year, junior year.
You know, we
senior
already did it. We
year.
already did this episode.
I'm like, please.
Never what I am.
Never have I ever imagined that this girl that I hate would be marrying this guy that I'm in love with.
That's a twist of events. Plot twist. 100%. I know we've talked about speeches, but I don't know if we really nailed the hammer on that one. But
No.
it's just like keep those
Short and sweet.
just a funny story.
A funny story.
Also, like introduce who you are and how you know them, but don't go too far into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You
I
can,
don't
but even
know.
then, you don't have to. Like, as someone who puts together wedding videos, I never put in, hi, I'm Todd. I'm the best man. Because they know.
For those of you who don't know me, Every time.
Nah.
We just hear a lot of them, so we ain't dogging. Do you?
Yeah.
Um,
We laugh because if we down well,
yeah.
go mentally insane.
Right. With this, you actually don't have to have a maid of honor.
Yes.
You don't have to have one at all.
No.
Picking the most important out of all of them is difficult. I understand that.
Yeah.
You don't have to have one at all. I actually had a bride whose cousin passed away, and she was supposed to be the maid of honor. So like that was like a placeholder. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't a maid of honor
Yeah,
because
didn't want to fill that.
But I loved that. I
Yeah.
just like felt that the whole day.
Did she have anyone give speeches or?
Yeah, her parents,
Okay.
like on her behalf, and it was dope. I thought that
So
was really
sweet.
cool. I mean, it's like fucking sad, but
So sad.
but I don't know. I felt that all day, and I just thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for that I would just divvy up the duties if you're not having a maid of honor, because like things can get lost, and that
Right.
one point person like feels like who's in charge of like the batch party or whatever. But I would just be
Yeah.
like pick the leader, the planner, the group, and be like, hey,
Yeah.
could you just like handle the batch party and like ask for help?
Yeah.
I think that's a good way.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you know you're taken care of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just because if no one's maid of honor, they're like, what do we do? Who's
I know.
the point person? But it's like you as the
Yeah.
bride have to pick someone.
You do.
Just be like, you're the planner in the group. That's why I put this on you. Love you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is another one. Because ring bearers and flower girls are a part of the bridal party,
Okay.
they do not have to be a specific gender or age.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Get weird with that. I
Yeah.
love it's one of my favorite trends. It's like grandma and grandpa's.
Yep. So cute.
So cute. Also because like not if you're not having children at your wedding, which is totally up to you.
Yeah.
But the trend recently has been like no kids
yeah.
unless they're in the wedding party. But also if like you want to give their parents a break and they can find a sitter,
Right.
go with the older gen.
yes.
Give it to someone who just like you want to be a part of your wedding party, but they didn't make it. Like
Right.
my cousin was my flower boy, and I love him so much. He's like brother,
yeah.
and he would have been a part of it. So I
Yep.
just wanted him to play a role.
Yeah. I agree.
What was your face on flower girls and ring bearers? You gave me a face like fuck them.
I was gonna say don't have them in all the photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's always the matron's kids in there. You know who it is.
You know who you are.
And she's always like, Kylie,
It
McKenna,
it ruins.
get it on. Give
It
smile.
ruins
And it's like,
the
she's
vibe.
trying to dance moms them.
Yeah.
And it's like, reel it in.
it just is like save that for a family photo with the bride
Yeah.
and the groom.
Yeah. Do
After
it at
the
the church.
ceremony.
Do it at the church.
Do
They
it
don't
after
need-
the ceremony.
Please don't put a 5-year-old on a party bus. They take them, send them with grandma. It's just unnecessary. Because I don't
If
know
they
what to
can't
do
follow,
with them.
if they can't follow 2-step directions,
Yeah.
take them out.
Yeah. And then I feel weird, like, especially when they're at that age, like, if they're like
Junior
10, 11,
bridesmaids
12,
or something.
I feel like I'm excluding them if I don't have them in there. And that I asked one of my recent weddings, I was like, do you want them in every photo? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Unless you specifically tell us. We're just tip of the dickin' over here.
Right.
I guess we already touched on this, but this is my last one.
Okay.
And when in doubt, don't. When in doubt, fucking just don't.
Yes.
If that person's like, if it's like,
If they have a question mark above their head, don't.
ain't worth it.
No.
It's your day.
When
Pick 'em.
in doubt, don't. Bridal parties 101.
This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
I think
friendship is like literally one of the most complex like relationships that we have, right? It is in a lot of ways more intimate than a romantic relationship, or more complicated. I mean, in that like you set boundaries and expectations for your romantic partner almost right away, right? Friendships don't have that. They don't have those boundaries. They don't have those expectations. You're just like going through life sometimes with these people for 15 years before your wedding day, right? Like you've been through it, and a lot of times you just take them for who they are. But then something big happens, like a wedding. And it's like, this person actually isn't excited for me. This person actually isn't my cheerleader. This person actually isn't going the extra mile.
I've heard a lot of this in my brides.
Yes. Or doing anything to make me feel like they want to be here.
Yeah.
But then there's also that like expectation that they need to be there because if you don't ask them, they'll be mad. But when you do ask them, they're not present. And that's like problematic.
Yeah.
Like,
it's sad too.
It is sad. And it's sad to watch. Like, I don't know. On the wedding day, I feel like you spend the morning with your bridal party. But obviously, like, we're not there for all of that. Like, you know, I usually get there like maybe an hour before they get in their dress. And then we're like off to the races. Like, we gone. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't see them interact. But, like, I know from, like, hanging out with my brides and stuff that, like, these are always the issue, the stressors, right? It's the bridesmaids that back out of the bachelorette party early and don't want to go. All of that. And it's like, you need to only pick people that are 100% on your team.
Pick people that pick you.
Pick people that pick you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I have a couple for like tips for picking your best man / maid of honor. Just that I feel like is worth noting. So I said, so this isn't necessarily for who should be your best man, but it's think about imagine your wedding day, close your eyes, think about it. Who in your bridal party is going to give the most meaningful and honest speech? Mm-hmm. Because there are certain people in your bridal party that can speak to both of you, right? There's the friend that knows you both better than other people. Like, you know, if there's a brother, like have them speak as well. Like I understand the like obligatory picking your sibling to be your maid of honor because it's like your built-in best friend, your built-in, like they're the person that's going to be there for the rest of your life, guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So like I'm very pro that. But I do think that like, especially if you're having like things recorded, you should have very meaningful speeches and because like the words people share with you matter and you should want to hear that on your wedding day. Mm-hmm. And I think it deserves to be documented. And I mentioned this before, but like who is actually excited for you? Who is excited for you? Who's excited to be there? Who's excited to wear the dress no matter what weird color you choose? Who's excited to like just be there for you to cheer you on?
Yeah.
Because that's the person you want in your corner for the rest of your life. Yeah. And like your wedding day is like a good example of that. Mm-hmm. Because these are the people that at their best, I think, should be the ones that are encouraging your marriage and are in your corners for your marriage, not just there
for the day,
for the pics, for the Insta stories, for the little square in the grid, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to throw out a name that you guys hear a lot. Meg Nye. She's the one who was like, I am honored. She's been a bridesmaid in a lot of weddings, but that just tells you what kind of person she is.
Yeah.
But because she is an amazing person, she was like, oh, I will be there for the rest of your life because I was there, stood behind you, next to you while you said these vows, and I'm going to remind you every day.
Yeah.
That if something goes wrong or anything, like you can count on me to remind you because I was there on that day to support you in your marriage. I think that's awesome.
That is awesome and important, and not one we think about enough. Is like this is your support system,
right?
Not just for that day.
Back me the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
You're behind you. Yeah. They're backing you up, holding you up as you.
Yeah, they're there to hold your emotional space on that day. They're also there to like remind you why you're doing this thing.
Hold you accountable in your marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Hard agree. And another tip for picking best man maid of honor: who manages your stress the best? Who's the person that's going to make you laugh or take things on for you if you're getting stressed out? Who's the person you turn to that day and are like,
what do you need?
Fucking freaking out, you know, like those people. Like that's who should be given that title.
Absolutely. Someone who specializes in crisis management.
Yes.
Your girl.
If you guys have any bridal party tea. We'd love to spill it. I feel like this would be a great part 2 episode, you know?
Send in your bridal party
nightmares, your experience.
We did like wedding
advice,
horror stories, but I think more specifically we could get into bridal party.
Yeah. Another thing I just thought of. Please, 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 please. Don't choose a bridesmaid that's going to tell the photographer what to do. And that's just on me hating certain bridal party members.
Yes.
The thing that I don't know if you have a
Did you get this shot? Did you? She's getting her makeup done. I fucking know.
Yeah, I've been doing that. Please don't stress out, Monica. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. Like, and the one that's like, said when the bridesmaids are like, oh, remember this picture at my wedding? That's a great photo. You should do that. And then the bride and groom, or like the couple is too awkward to say no, so they do it. And I'm like, this is a waste of my goddamn time.
Yeah, they did this one too, like a flower thing. I was like, I've never done this in my life. If you guys want to do it for me, I'm like, I have no idea how to direct you. So I'm like,
you
go ahead.
for it. I'll be here.
I was like, you, the one whose wedding this was, I'm like, go ahead and direct it.
Yeah,
I'll stand back. Here's my camera too.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Move the shutter way down to see what they do.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
But yeah, we would love for you to send your stories in, your horror stories, your drama, your tea. Maybe we could sip that.
Yeah.
Before we do something that we didn't plan on doing, but Rachel had a little mentee bee this week, and it's only Wednesday, so things have been going on, but we were just like looking in our future, and we are going to take a break. So we are going to wrap up season 1 of For Better and Worse at the end of September, and we will take the entire month of October off.
I know it's good. It's good for all of us. Obviously, we have been recording all through busy season, but it's just about to get even busier. So I think it's best that we take a break, get the content up for y'all.
Yes. Like I make jokes about it, but it really frustrates me that like I haven't been on top of the YouTube and on top of TikTok. And there are a lot of like things that I need to be doing to make the podcast grow. And we're really lucky that you guys are such like loyal fans, friends, whatever. So we hope you won't mind that we need to take some time off. Jess has multiple double headers, triple headies in October. I'm going to be in Maine and in Arizona traveling for weddings and engagements and shit. So
we will be documenting everything we need to tell you guys during this month off. And I think it's going to be good for us. We're going to come back stronger than ever, refreshed, hopefully, with some great fucking stories.
Yes. Maybe me and you won't talk for the entire month of October.
That would be insane.
Gonna be us.
Could be us. Couldn't be us. But as always, guys, we freaking love you.
We love you guys.
Thanks for loving us. We will try to post more content when we're together, because I feel like people really like to see us be friends in action.
We'd be pretending. What if it was all a ruse?
That would be wild.
Like One Direction.
Yeah.
You know, they were just pieced together. Then they became friends.
Couldn't be us. We love you guys.
Signing off from the codependency couch.
Signing off. Tune in next week. Love y'all.
Bye.